Ayan, isang magandang Friday morning mga ka-tech quiz. At yan, welcome po muli sa ating isa na namang araw na gawin natin makabuluhan sa pamagitan ng paglinang ng panibagong kaalaman. Ayan, so basa muna tayo saglit ng mga ilang comments. Ayan, greetings from Samantha Eunice, happy viewing. Ayan, good morning po from Mindanao Integrated School, Cluster 7. Yan, grade 9, Jeremiah. Wow. Thank you. And si Enrico Dalupan, good morning po. Enrico Manuel T. Dalupan watching from Virgen de las Flores High School. Advisor, ayan, napaka-star-studded Si Billy Crawford at Principal Luis Mansan. Ayos. So thank you, Enrico. Grade 11 STEM student. Ayan. And to Irene Dequino, good morning. And kay Bea Jane Libanan from Orani National High School, Maine, ICT 11. Good morning. Ayan. Yes, Enrico, ikaw ay uh, ating first honor sa attendance. Ayan. Thank you for uh, viewing once again sa ating session. Ayan. So, ayan, good morning din kay Tutor Marlon Ramos, ang ating CSS Grade 12 tutor. Ayan, so pasensya na, medyo na-late tayong konti. May mga technicalities lang tayong na-experience. Ayan, good morning Tutor Paulo. Okay, so welcome muli sa Itulay Online Tutorial. Yan, inyo pong matutunghayan, syempre, ang ating aralin sa Computer System Servicing for Grade 11. So, tayo po ay nasa quarter 2 na, no? Week 2 at ang ating pag-usapan sa araw na ito ay tungkol sa occupational health and safety. Yan. Sige, diretso na tayo para hindi na tayo tuluyan pa magtagal. Yan. Okay. So, once again, I'm Tutor A from SDO Bataan. Yan. So, every Friday po tayo, 9 to 9:40 a.m. No, dito lamang sa Facebook page ng DepEd EdTech Unit at DepEd Tayo at sa kanilang at sa aming YouTube channel DepEd Philippines, DepEd EdTech at DepEd TV. All right. So quarter 2 week 2, yan. Nananatili tayo sa ating learning competencies na assembled computer hardware. So at the end of this tutorial, you are expected to number 1, identify the different precautions before initiating action towards work, and apply occupational health and safety in a workplace. Ayan. So, ito kasi yung pinaka-basic na sinasabi natin na kailangan estudyante pa man tayo or nasa workplace na kailangan we keep in mind yung ating tinatawag na OHS, no, or yung occupational safety and health or occupational health and safety no napagpapalit kasi which is anyway okay lang din. All right? So what is OHS or what is occupational safety and health ba? So sabi rito is OHS or OSH is a working system. Sistema siya that prevents illness and injury. It is done by recognizing and identifying hazards and risks. Tatandaan yan. No? Sa occupational safety and health, ang pine-prevent natin yung hazard, ay pine-prevent natin na magkaroon tayo ng ma-injure, no? Casualty or illness, no? So we have to recognize and identify and then eliminate hazards and risks. So ito yung purpose kung bakit tayo nagko-conduct ng occupational health and safety. Okay? Changes in technology or work processes are likely to bring about the biggest change in computer users' exposure to hazards. Yan. So dahil nga sa mga mga dumarating na mga technological innovation, gayon din ang kaakibat nito na mga challenges, no, and mga masasabi nating hazards, no, sa ating workplace. All right? Okay. So with that, we're going to discuss on how are we going to manage health and safety at work. Okay? So again, 'di ba matatandaan natin ang tatlong ah, battle cry or pinaka-foundation kung bakit nagkaroon ng senior high school is una, para maging handa tayo sa trabaho, sa negosyo, at sa kolehiyo. So, kung hinahanda tayo sa trabaho, no, kailangan handa talaga tayo, number one, in managing the health and safety. No? Unang-una ng ating sarili, gayon din sa ating workplace. No? So, to achieve safety and health in your workplace, you need to follow 3 think safe steps. So may tatlo tayong pag-uusapan muna. 'no, na ano ba yung tatlong step 'no, para ma-ensure natin yung ating kapaligiran 'no, sa ating workplace 'no, yung health and safety. Number one, spot the hazard 'no. So sabi nga, may kasabihan, ah, in order for us to provide solutions sa ating mga problema, first, we have to identify, no, affirm and accept na there is a problem. No? In any workplace, kahit saan ka magpunta, there is always a hazard. Lagi niyong iisipin yan. Kaya nga, di ba, lagi natin sinasabi, safety first. Di ba? So, we have to spot the hazard. So, i-identify muna, ano ba yung hazard sa ating trabaho? No? Now, bago yun, ano nga ba ang hazard? No? Yan. So, hazard is anything that could hurt you and or other people. It can harm the safety and health of people and can damage tools and equipment. So, hindi lang buhay yung pinapahalagan natin dito. Bagkus, syempre yung ating workplace at yung mga kagamitan. No? Bakit? Syempre, loss sa production yan, yung pagka-injure ng tao while at workplace, no? May epekto sa production yan at may epekto syempre sa kabuuang pag-iral ng isang kumpanya, ng isang workplace. Naintindihan natin? So we have to identify hazard, no? Ayun yung unang step, no? Spot the hazard. Kayong iba, yung mga tinatawag natin talagang critical, no, na mga mga workshop. So ito yung una nilang tinitignan. Kaya nga sa ibang bansa, alam nyo, ako on my experience, sa mga, halimbawa sa construction site, bago sila nag ah, nagsisimula ng kanilang construction activity, meron muna silang mga safety meeting bago mag-start. Every day 'yon, no? Part 'yon, no? Bakit? Kasi they have to identify, okay, halimbawa, maulan ngayon, no? Risk 'yan kung ang trabaho natin ay naglilinya tayo ng kuryente, ng kawan ng kuryente. Nagkagawa tayo, nagbabago tayo ng linya. So, we have to spot hazard, and then so we can create a decision whether kung itutuloy ba natin yung trabaho ngayon or ipagpaliban natin, iset natin ng ibang schedule. Okay? So, spot the hazard. Unang think safe step yan. Alright? Next. Ang susunod naman natin, no? Ayan, so may isa pa pala tayong ano rito. So, statement. So, being alert, paragraph, sorry. Being alert at all times is good and is very useful in identifying hazard. Ayan. Kaya yung mga Boy Scout dyan, no? Yung mga laging alerto. Yan, sabi ni Arnold Clavio. Yan. Pati yung mga Boy Scout natin, di ba? Laging handa. Yan. In this step, you identify things that could cause illness and injury. As some hazards cannot be easily identified. Totoo yon, and are not fairly obvious like chemicals or radiations, being keen is a must. So maging observant tayo, mag-obserba. So in identifying hazards, you must know the different classification or types of a hazard. Yan. So para ma-identify natin, syempre kailangan maklasify natin yung iba't ibang hazards, no? It could be physical, mechanical, or electrical, no, chemical, biological, and physiological environment hazard. Yan. So, those are the different classification ng hazards. Okay. Now, physical. This can be seen or recognized. Ito yung pagpasok mo pa lang ng workplace, nakita mo, basa ang floor, alam mo nang hazardous yun kasi you are dealing with trabaho nyo is, let us say, nag-assemble kayo ng computers and then you test it via electrical cord, no? So, kailangan kung nakita mo basa ang flooring dahil nga nag-uulan, meron palang tulo yung kisame. So, that can be seen physically. Naintindihan natin? So, ayun yung obvious. Now, mechanical and electrical, this includes pressure vessels, electricity equipment, cranes, and machinery. So, it includes naman yung mga machines, no? And anything that use electrical supply. Okay? So, una nyo rin titignan yan, lalo sa bahay, no? Lalo yung gumagamit ng mga electric fan. So, wag nating papabayaan na, na nakasaksak siya. No? So, hanggat maaari i-practice natin tanggalin sa outlet kung hindi naman gagamitin. Even yung TV, no? Hindi naman may standby power naman. Miski na, still it consumes pa rin, no? Wattage. No? Again, when we deal with electricity, We call it the consumption, the wattage, no, yung konsumo niya. Okay, so it consume wattage, no? So another cost 'yon, no? Makakadagdag 'yun sa monthly electrical bills niyo. So physical, mechanical, and electrical, no? Next, we have chemical. Yan, example are acids and poisons, cleaning agents, dust, fumes, and explosive devices. Lalo na sa bahay natin, kung tayo ay gumagamit ng mga pesticides, no, yung mga chemicals, halimbawa yung mga detergent powder. So, we have to see to it na nasa proper places iyan. No? Number one, hindi siya maaabot ng mga small kids natin sa bahay kung may mga kapatid or pamangkin kayong mga small pa. Alright? Next, biological. This includes viruses, insects, vermin, or yung mga pests and bacteria. Yan, lalo ngayon sa panahon natin ngayon may pandemya. No, meron tayong biological hazard. Kaya pag lumalabas tayo, di ba? Alam natin may biological hazard sa panahon ngayon. So we do use face mask, no? We do face shields, and then we keep on hand wash and sanitizing yung mga kamay natin, and we also encourage everybody na magpabakuna, no? Kasi alam natin may hazard ngayon biologically, no, dala ng COVID-19 virus. All right? Next, psychosocial environment. So workplace stresses arising from a variety of sources are example. Ayan, lalo ngayon dahil pandemya, limitado ang tao na lumabas, pumunta sa mga kinaugalian niyang lugar na puntahan para mag-unwind, mag-refresh, no? So nagkakaroon ng impact 'yan sa kanyang psychosocial. Yung iba, it's a real scenario. Some of us experiencing depression, depressive emotion. Why? Kasi nga, yung environment natin, no, even wala naman nga tayo sa workplace, no, is napaka-stressing. Why? Kasi hindi na naging normal dahil ng kulang 2 taon ang ating buhay dahil nga sa pandemya, no? Even na nasa ano ka nasa loob ka ng trabaho mo, let us say pre-pandemic era, kapag may mga katrabaho ka or let us say classmate na hindi mo feel na makasama, no? It can cause psychosocial stress, no? Naintindihan? So, those things kailangan nating ma-identify 'yon, no? Hindi kasi porket nagtatrabaho tayo, no, nakaupo lang, wala na tayong stress. Yung sinasabi natin dito sa psychosocial environment. Naintindihan? So, meron pa rin, no? So, we have to identify that. So, kung nakita natin yung kasama natin, kaklase natin, kaibigan natin, no, kasama natin sa bahay na parang naninibago tayo sa kanilang mga kilos o galaw, no? So, it's time to check on them, no? Kumustahin natin sila. Alright? Next. So when doing the hazard identification step, you need to coordinate with the people working around you like your co-employees and supervisors. You can ask them about the task they find physically difficult and awkward. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. No? Bawa, sa bahay na lang eh. Sabi ko kanina, if you see your ate that doing work from home, no, medyo tutulala na. So you can talk to them, no? Yain nyo for a coffee, for a cup of coffee, no? Why? Kasi isa sa mga ano natin 'yan, isa sa malaking impact din na hazard ngayon is yung psychosocial na na hazard, 'no? Kasi nga due to environment natin, 'no? Hindi nga tayo makalabas, Hindi na natin magawa yung nakasanayan nating gawin, 'no? Which is importante pa rin for our mental health. Okay, so maganda ang topic natin ngayon kasi napaka-inclusive at napapanahon. Okay? So akala nyo lang, wag natin balewalain itong occupational health and safety lesson. No? Basic ito, kaya nga basic, mahalaga na kailangan natin matutunan. Okay? So it's very important that you take note of every hazard you could identify. Be sure not to just look for obvious hazards. Consider those that have potentials. Ayan, yung mga halimbawa, nakita mo lang sa sa bahay na lang, nakita mo sa bahay niyo yung upuan niyo, uuga-uga na, ayun pala natanggal na yung pako o sira na. So dun pa lang, identify niyo na, sabihin niyo, "Tay, Nay, sira na 'to upuan natin, gawin na ho natin." 'No, gawan na ho natin ng paraan para makumpuni. Bakit? Kasi sabi nga, sa occupational health and safety, ina-avoid natin yung pagkakaroon ng injury, okey, tatandaan niyo lagi 'yan. Kasi lahat responsable tayo, 'no, pananagutan natin ang bawat isa, tatandaan niyo. Kaya nga, ako halimbawa during the laboratory nung normal pa ang lahat 'no, kapag nasa laboratory kami. So, 'pag laboratory ito na yung mga performance task 'no, sa computer. Avoid horseplaying, ito yung pagbibiruan. 'No, avoid muna natin 'to. So remember that not all injuries are immediately recognized, like those that are caused by long-term exposure to chemicals or radiations. Yan, especially yung mga radioactive materials. Pero sa atin naman, ay we are not dealing naman mostly sa mga radioactive materials, 'no? So radiations, let's say sa screen, na tolerable pa yan, eh, 'no? So going through the that not unless yung mga nuclear radiation, medyo matindi yan. Na hindi mo naman makikita yun pero genetically, it could damage our DNA, 'no? Going through the records of injury that you or your colleagues can also help you identify hazards at you could understand its causes. And puwede magtanong, kausapin, 'no, yung mga kasama natin sa trabaho or even sa bahay, 'no, na kung may napansin kang mga injury nila before, 'no, yung mga scars, you can ask them paano nila na-acquire yun, 'no? Para at least, ah, another, ano sa inyo yun na makapag-ingat kayo, na maiwasan niyo kung ano man yung naging cause ng pagka-injure niya. Alright, sunod natin, after ng step 1 na identify the hazard, next we are going to assess. 'No, na-identify mo na, eh, "Uy, ano 'to, psychosocial, environment hazard. Uy, biological hazard." Now, we are going to assess the risk, 'no? Lahat naman yan may risk, 'no? So, risk is the likelihood that a hazard will cause injury or ill health to anyone or near workplace. Laging may risk, tatandaan yan. Sabi ko sa inyo, wala pa yung problema, isipin niyo lagi mayroon. And then once you identify that, you assess it, what could be done, no? So in assessing risk, you work on the possibility, again possibility, or extent of harm that a hazard may bring. Sabi nga sa inyo, yung simpleng nakita mo lang na may tamtak sa lapag, pinabayaan mo, maya maya baka mamaya sa bahay nyo, halimbawa may malit kang kapatid naglalakad na walang panyapak, natapakan, di ba? So nasugat. Saka sabi ko sa inyo, it's everybody's concern, yung health and safety. Okay? Now, knowing how likely the hazard could harm and how badly it could harm is an essential part of this step. Ayan, di ba? Kasi once you identify na, right after you have to assess na eh. Uy, mayroong basa yung sahig. Okay, identify mo na eh, mayroong physical hazard. No, assess mo, okay, pag pinabayaan ko to, ano mangyayari? No, ako nakita ko, nakapag-ingat ako, naiwasan ko siya. No, how about the others? No, lalo na kung kasamahan mo sa trabaho. Once ma-injure 'yan, matitigil operation niyo. Magkakaroon ng impact 'yun sa production process niyo at magkakaroon din ng impact sa, tinatawag nating production loss, 'no, ng company. Okay? So you make the judgment about the seriousness of each hazard that you have identified in step 1 and decide which hazard requires the most urgent attention. Ito nga yung tinatawag nating ano, eh, common sense na lang, eh. Kasi yung iba may common sense na kaso kinulang, ayan sinasabi ko kinulang na lang sa ano, sa tawag dito, sa pagke-care sa ibang tao. Kasi iniisip niya, "Okey nakita ko, nakaiwas naman ako." Pinabayaan. Kaso paano yung ibang tao, yung katrabaho mo, yung kasama mo sa bahay 'no, hindi dapat gano'n 'no. So identify the risk, assess the risk, okay? Okay, so again, there are also factors that you need to consider when assessing risk. Okay, so it important that you know the nature of hazard posing the risk, the hazards combination, the types of injuries that you consider to be the risk and result. No, so risk assessment factors also cover the workplace wherein hazards are found to be present. You also assess the layout of the workplace and people working on it, especially their working habits and postures. In addition, to you have to check for all the existing control measures implemented within the workplace. Halimbawa sa workplace, pagpasok mo, kita mo maalikabok, yung electric fan, no? Yung electric fan, puwede mo ng ibenta yung alikabok kasi may konti na lang siyang electric fan. Mas marami pa yung nababalot na ng alikabok, 'no? So hazard 'yun, 'no? So assess, ano yung puwedeng mangyari, 'no? 'no? Ba't yung electric fan 'pag maraming alikabok o yung workplace malikabok, posibleng pagmulan ng sakit, 'no? Yung lalo na yung may mga allergic ano, rhinitis sa ilong, nababahe, 'no? So iyon, 'no? You have to identify 'yan. You have to assess the risk kung ano yung mga impact noon sa mga katrabaho mo, hindi man sa'yo. Naintindihan natin? So so with that, you have to risk control yung tinatawag natin, 'no? Iko-control na natin. Why? Kasi you have already identified it na. No, na-identify mo na siya, okay? Then after that, na-assess mo na ano yung mga gaano ka-serious, 'no, ang magiging impact nito sa aming workplace, 'no? Gano'n lagi ang pag-isip, empowered thinking lagi, okay? Alright, so you have to make the choice. So you are going to risk control. So hazard management, again, management. Kasi you can control it, eh. You can manage, no? It's a continuous process, no, that can be used to improve the health and safety of our workplaces. So by adhering with the first two steps, we can eliminate the hazards in our workplace. Ayan. So ito na yung ginatawag nating process of elimination. 'No, naintindihan natin? So, tatlong step 'yun, para, ma-observe natin yung tinatawag nating, occupational health and safety. Again, occupation kasi sa trabaho, occupation, 'no? So, sa bawat trabaho, sa bawat workplace may mga hazards 'yan. So, una, we have to identify the hazards, assess the hazards, and make the changes. 'No? So dito i-eliminate na natin yung mga na-identify natin at mga na-assess nating hazards sa ating workplace, mapa-physical man 'yan, mechanical, electrical, 'no, biological, ah, psychosocial environment, 'no? Lahat diyan we have to identify, we have to assess, and then we eliminate all the hazards, 'no, na ini-incorporate, 'no, ng mga ito. Okay, so with that, so sir, paano ba natin mai-eliminate 'yan? Paano ba tayo makakapag-risk control, 'no, sa mga hazards sa ating workplace? Ayan, so dun tayo magpupunta, dun na natin pag-uusapan, 'no? 'Yan, yung nakikita niyo diyan, ito is a picture o printed tarpaulin posted sa aming, computer lab, 'no? 'Yan, so diyan natin pag-usapan yung 5S of good housekeeping. I think most of us narinig na ito, okay? So again, 'wag nating balewalain kasi napakahalaga nito. Ito na yung pinaka-actual process methodology on how are we going to observe safety and health sa ating workplace or even sa bahay na lang natin, eh, 'no? So 5S. 'No? Sir, ano ba yung 5S na 'yan, 'no? Ayan ba yung cellphone? Hindi 'yan 'yon. So 5S is a Japanese methodology for making more efficient workplace. 'No? It was developed by Hiroyuki Hirano in Japan in the late 1980s. It was so called because of the five different phases in which all start with S in the original Japanese language. Oo, kasi Japanese talaga 'to and then nilagyan lang ng counterpart, English, words, 'no? So ito ay isang work procedure, 'no, na unang na-observe sa Toyota industry, car industry. Siyempre production 'yon. Sabi ko nga sa inyo kapag production kayo, mass production, lakas paggawa, ah, kailangan hindi matigil 'yon. Isang katiting lang na oras, it could have a bigger effect, 'no, sa sales and then the whole production system ng isang company. So kaya talaga itong mga Japanese napaka-keen, napaka-strict na when it comes with workplace procedure. So that's why kailangan ma-achieve nating maintindihan ang 5S na ito. Okay, so applying 5S on your computer can help you better organize your files. So dito sa magiging konteksto ng ating pag-aaral sa 5S, 'no, gawin natin in two way, both in computer organization and even in our, home, 'no, home places. Okay? So number one, yan, we have Siri. Siri o Seiri or yung sort. Again, Seiri, it's a Japanese word, no? So ginawan siya ng English counterpart, yung sort. So this first phase is the know what, no? You must have a clear you must have a clear understanding of what files are needed and what aren't that much. Halimbawa sa computer system, yan, lalo sa mga teachers natin diyan 'no, mga kasama nating teachers. So even yung mga students, yung mga files mo naglabo-labo na diyan sa ano mo 'no, sa iba't ibang subject mo, sa English, sa Math, sa major subject mo, sa Filipino, et cetera. So, ang sabi rito, theory requires critical sorting, inspection, and identification of files. There is a need for you to eliminate duplicates and unnecessary files. Therefore, you will need to classify the files as waste or valuable. Delete all files that are unnecessary. Ayun, ako ang ginagawa ko, ina-identify ko kung yung mga files sa computer ko ay ito ba ay personal files ko o work related. Yan. So, doon, in-identify ko na. Then, in-inspect ko, okay, itong sa mga work related files. Ano ba rito yung hindi ko na kailangan? O ano ba rito yung baka may kopya na ako dati at na-download ko ulit. Okay? So, again, know what? Mind muna, know what. So you alam mo na may kailangan kang i-sort, no? So you have to inspect and identify. Parang sa bahay lang din. Sa kusina, for example, i-check mo, ano ba rito yung ano, yung mga gamit na madalas yung ginagamit sa pagluluto. Okay? Ano rito yung mga kasangkapan na araw-araw yung ginagamit sa pagluluto. Okay? Kasi maiinis ka, ang dami namang gamit, ang daming kalat sa kusina or sa kitchen. 'Di ba? So, identify mo ano ba yung madalas nating gamitin. So, naintindihan natin, inspect, identify. That is what you call critical sorting. Okay? Yung mga, sabi nga rito, waste or valuable. Kung valuable, so i-ready mo na yan. Kung hindi naman, waste na, pwede mo itapon. Baka mamaya, yung lalagyan niya ng asin sa isang dekada na yon, baka pwede nang palitan yon, no? Mga ganon. Okay? So that is theory, sort. Okay? Next, we have Phaeton or set in order. Yan. Once you sort it na, alam mo na yung mga waste or valuable, madalas gamitin, sa hindi madalas gamitin. So this one reminds that there is a place, again, place for everything, and everything must be in place. So after you have classified the files in the first phase, your new task now is to envision and to organize it. That's why set in order. It is advisable to assign a position for everything so you can easily find the files when you need them. Again, ako nga, sabi ko sa inyo, sa desktop ko, gumawa ako ng dalawang folder. Isang personal files, isang work-related files. So, lahat ng mga tungkol sa trabaho ng mga files and folders nandoon sa folder na work-related. Yung mga personal ko naman, no, nandoon sa personal files. Okay? Sa bahay din, again, sa kitchen, no, and even mga tools natin, i-organize natin ano yung madalas natin ginagamit. Kawali, chance o C to 8 na nasa isang lugar yan na madali mong makuha para 'pag ginagamit mo kinabukasan, doon makuha. Yung kawa na malaki 'no, yung ginagamit natin 'pag nagluluto ng halaya, yan dahil Christmas season na, yan. So, madalas yan siyempre di mo na araw-araw ginagamit yan not unless may okasyon. So, nakatabi yan, let us say sa cabinet. Okay, or nakasabit sa ano, sa pader. May mga gano'n kasing ano, eh, setup 'no. So, ganoon ang pag-o-order 'no. See to it, yung lagi mong ginagamit nandiyan lang sa isang lugar na madali mong makuha. So, that is how are you going to organize things 'no. Yung madalas gamitin sa hindi madalas gamitin. Sa importante sa least important things. Alright? Satan, set in order, organize. Okay? Next. No? We already have Siri, no? Sort, Satan, set in order. Yan. Ito. So, ito yung about naman to sa mga file management to. Okay? So, I will not take so much ano naman na rito. Kasi nga yung practice ko, gawa ka lang ng folder. Personal, work-related, urgent, not urgent, important, not that very important. Mga ganun na labeling sa ano, sa folder. Alright? Next. No? Pangatlo natin, say so or shine. As you have classified and sorted your files that are still needed, keeping your computers neat and clean is the next step. It is no one-time task but rather an ongoing and daily job. Ayan, hindi yung gagawin natin, okay, next week na lang ako mag-a-arrange ng files. Okay, next week na lang ako magwawalis at maglalampaso ng sahig. Okay, again, no, it's an ongoing and daily job. It is very important to make sure that all parts of your computer, like screen, keyboards, cables, and main box, are all free from dust to ensure that they won't have any problem or malfunctioning. Yan, totoo naman yon. Kung yung computer mo, kaya nga ina-avoid natin kumain sa harap ng computer eh, kasi yung lagkit na mga kinakain natin, no, ah, nalalagay natin sa keyboard, sa screen, nadudumihan. Okay, so pag madumi, di mo makita masyado yung binabasa mo sa screen. So, it could have an impact. So, you have to practice cleaning. Kaya nga shine, no? Next, remember that a clean screen reduces glare dust. Free computer can keep cooler, reducing to the chance of fatal error or data loss. Ayan, lalo sa mga computer, yung mga exhaust system natin dyan, sa mga naka-desktop, no? Meron din nakitang memes niya sa Facebook eh, no? For sale, alikabok may konting computer. Kasi sobra yung desktop computer, puno na ng alikabok eh, no? Bakit? Kasi hindi nag-practice ng day-to-day cleaning, no? Eh, ano ba yung punasan man lang or i-brush mo, let us say, kahit once a week, yung loob na internal parts ng ano mo, ng computer, no? Kasi nagkaroon ng build up. No, ganito, kung gaano mo kadalas yung extent, no, ng paggamit mo ng isang gamit, isang equipment, gano'n din sana yung extent ng pagme-maintain mo or yung paglilinis mo sa kanya. Naintindihan? Okay? Clear? Okay, clear. So we are done with theory sort. We are done with what you call this? Yung pangalawa natin, si set in order. Ayan, si Seiso. Tama ba? Tama ba yung sinabi ko? Mali ako eh. Seiton, sorry, set in order. Series, sort, Seiton, set in order. Yan. And si Seiso, si Shine, yan, Seiso, Shine. Yung cleaning, no? Paglilinis talaga. Ano nito ni Shine or ni Seiso. And then yung pang-apat natin is Seiketsu is standardized, no? Setting up a standard for developing file structures and method is the fourth among the 5S. For example, you set a retention guide for deleting files. You decide to delete files as soon as they reach their third year. Halimbawa, yun. Kung tayo, yung files natin is last year pa, baka pwede na nating i-delete yon. So, we set a standard procedure. So, the guidelines that you would do would be according to your preference and needs. Again, it will be according to your own preference and needs. Halimbawa, as a teacher, may mga files kami, let us say, no, 2016 pa, let us say, mga grades ng bata. No? If tapos naman na yun, kasi na-print na namin at na-submit na namin sa registrar office. So, maybe it's time na i-delete na namin, tanggalin na namin dito sa aming computer system. Okay? So, we have to standardize. So, yung mga sabi ko nga sa inyo magkaka-combinate 'tong tatlong 'to, eh. Yung mga gamit natin sa bahay, 'no, meron tayong let us say period lang na 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 dapat sundin, 'no, para, ah, maano natin, tawag dito, ma-retain natin yung mga bagay. Kaya nga let us say, sa sa ref na lang yung mga excess food natin, 'no, lalagay natin sa ref. Hindi naman porket ni-ref mo na, pang isang taon na dun yun. No, you have to set may mga tinatawag yang shell life. No, halimbawa yung tirang ice cream, yung tirang cake, yung tirang spaghetti. Yan, nakakagutom na kasi, no? Pag pinag-uusapan natin pagkain, no? May retention period or may shelf life lang din iyan. Di porket ni-rep mo, nandiyan, ano, goods na yan. No, hindi. No? So, may mga retention period yan. So, you have to know the standard uh, uh, shelf life ng mga gamit na yun or mga pagkain. Lalo na sa pagkain, napakasela niya. It can cause, again, illness. Okay? Next, shikutse or sustain naman. This could be the hardest of the phase. No, you may have all the four aforementioned being done. Nag-sort ka na, sinet in order mo na, nilinis mo na, shine mo na, then standard ka na, alam mo na kung ano yung mga procedure guidelines on how you're going to use, on how you're going to retain yung mga gamit, no? Now, maaari nating malagnig naman this as this require continuous action. Kaya nga ang word sustain, she could say sustain. In this space, doing the first four must be a habit na kailangan masustain natin yung apat na ginawa natin, yung pagso-sort, no, yung pag-organize, no, yung paglilinis, number one, and then yung pagse-set ng standard procedure, no, na kung yung halimbawa sa toothbrush na lang, eh, na yung toothbrush, ano ba yung pagpapalit nito every 1 month, every 1 year, no? Sabi nga depende sa frequency ng paggamit. Kung mag-toothbrush ka naman, eh, once a week, ay baka good for ano 'yan, for 1 year na yung toothbrush mo, yung paggamit, yung retention 'no, naintindihan natin? So that's how 5S works, okay? So kaya ang ikalima nito is you have to sustain yung apat na procedure, yung naunang 4 phases natin, si Seri, set in order 'no, ay si sort, 'no, si set in order, si shine, si standardize, 'no? Then we have to sustain them. So that is 5S. Okay? Clear? Now, we are going to talk about personal protective equipment. So, ito yung mga protective gear na sinusuot natin such as yung mga PPE na ano natin, mga suit, helmets, goggles, 'no, and other gears. Okay? So, halimbawa diyan yung goggles, importante 'to 'no, sa atin sa computer system para ma-avoid natin yung magkaroon tayo ng mga particles pumasok sa ating mata, eye shield 'no. Then yung shoes natin, rubber shoes, rubber dapat yung sole natin to avoid grounding 'no, sa sahig, especially when we are dealing with electrical wires, okay. What else? Dust mask. Lalo eh, kahit face mask, no? Kailangan, importante yan. Dahil again, may biological hazard tayo, may virus tayong hindi nakikita ngayon. And even gloves, yan. You have to practice, no? Especially kahit siguro, sa mga, especially pag nag-ano ka, dati kasi gano'n, eh, nung unang-una nagla-gloves ako paglabas, eh. Pero until recently siyempre nabakunahan din, may dala naman akong alcohol, nagsa-sanitize and then frequent hand washing, which is okey. But still gloves, siyempre 'pag nagha-handle tayo ng mga heavy industrial works, so we have to use gloves 'no. Yung gloves depende pa rin sa kung ano yung tatrabahuhin mo, kung electrical, dapat yung, insulated, yung may rubber sa kamay 'no. And apron siyempre para hindi madumihan yung ating, damit, yung ating uniform, okay. So these are the most common PPE or personal protective equipment na, mahalagang ginagamit natin, alright? Ayan, sige bago tayo magpatuloy batiin muna natin 'yan sila Ma'am Marieta Ponce from Osamis City sa Pulo Elementary School, si Ma'am Anlisa Gerance, Ashley Kate Ramos, Gino Tua Mendoza, good morning po sa lahat. 'Yan si Bea D. Quinto, blessed morning po watching here at De La Paz Libutad High School San Simon. Ayan, happy viewing po. 'Yan, so salamat po. So what are the questions do you have in mind? May mga katanungan po ba tayo diyan? Kung wala, alam mo na si teacher ang magtatanong. Ayan. Sige, konti lang naman 'to, 5 items lang. Alright? So, quiz time na tayo. Number 1, which of the following is not a PPE or a personal protective equipment? Alin ba sa mga 'yan ang hindi PPE? A, apron, B, gloves, C, safety goggles, D, none of the above. Yan, tama. It's letter D. Alright? Yan. Kasi lahat sila PPE yan, personal protective equipment na must na nating sinusuot. Lalo na kapag tayo ay naglalaboratory na. Okay? Next, number 2. Which of the following 5S is being described in the statement below? No, the guidelines that you will do would be according to your preference and needs. Alin dyan? A, say resort. B, say concert in order. C, say so shine. Or D, Seiketsu standardized. Tandaan nyo, guidelines according to your preference and needs. Ayan, very good. It's letter D, Seiketsu. Kaya nga doon, standardized. Standard na yun eh. No? Kaya nga guidelines. No? Very good. Next, number 3. No? Ganun pa rin. Which following five is being described in statement below. There is a need for you to eliminate duplicates and unnecessary files. Again, nag-eliminate ka na. No? So, A, Seiri. B, Seiton. C, Seiso. D, Seiketsu. Alin dyan? Ayan, very good. Seiri or sort. Kaya nga yung eliminate unnecessary files or duplicate uh, things. Yan. So, say resort. No? Number 4. Same lang din. So, anong B5S ang dinidescribe sa statement? Remember that a clean screen reduces glare dust. Pre-computer can keep cooler, reducing the chance of fatal error and data loss. Of course, napaka-obvious. It's C. Say so or shine. Ayan. Yan. So, number 5, biological hazards includes viruses, insects, vermin or pests, and bacteria. Is it true or false? Correct. It's true. Yan yung biological hazard. Lalo ngayon sa panahon natin. Yan. So, yan, yung mga pinag-usapan natin yan, napapanahon, inclusive sa ating lahat kasi danas natin yan. Now, ito pala yung mga procedure for us to identify the different hazard and how are we going to eliminate or di man ma-eliminate, let us say, to lessen yung maging impact nito sa ating buhay na mapa sa bahay man o sa ating workplace, no? Kasi importante na yan para ma-avoid natin yung disgrasya, yung pagkalugi, number 1 sa negosyo, no? At yung abala, syempre, at yung casualty. Alright? So with that, maraming salamat po. Once again, we are your Senior High School Information and Communications Technology team. With me is Tutor Pau, our ICT tutor mentor, and yours truly, Tutor A, no, CSS Grade 11, and Tutor Bell, ang aming programming tutor, and Tutor Lon, ang aming computer system servicing Grade 12 tutor. Ayan. Yan, ayan po ang aking pagbumuka. Huwag niyong kalilimutan na every Friday po 9 to 9:40 AM tayo. Same Facebook channel and same YouTube channel po tayo. Okay? So with that, please, we love to hear it from you. Yan. Pwede niyo po kami evaluate. You can send your feedback, any comments, reaction, violet man yan or happy. Yan. Please, you can scan the QR code. Ayan po. Oops. Ayan po ang QR code and yung yung link niya. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. So, I hope na-scan niyo na kasi lilipat ko na ng susunod na screen. So with that, thank you po. Diyos mabalos po sa inyong lahat. Yeah, wag po kayong bibitiw, no? At susunod na po si Tutor Lon para sa Computer System Servicing Grade 12. Muli, lagi nating tatandaan na sa pagpabahagi ang ating pag-iral. Muli, ako po si Tutor A. Diyos mabalos po. Paalam.